Sometimes the best dinners are the simple ones. Warm, comforting, and ready in minutes, this creamy Instant Pot beef stroganoff is a family favorite that you'll want to make again and again. Hi friends, and welcome back to Country Legacy. Today we are making a cozy family favorite, Instant Pot beef stroganoff. This recipe is so simple to throw together. And not only is it simple to throw together, it's also very quick. And if you forgot to thaw anything out for dinner, all you have to do is grab a frozen block of hamburger. You can always thaw it out as you cook it in the Instant Pot. So let's get right to it. I gathered all of the ingredients that we'll be putting in the beef stroganoff today. So the first thing we'll do is set our Instant Pot to saute. Now that our Instant Pot is hot, we'll add some oil to the bottom of the pot. And then I have 1 pound of ground beef. And I just got this handy little chopping utensil that I can chop the meat up. It makes it nice for a deeper dish like this. I don't know if you have an Amazon bin store where you're at, but when we have a free day, we try to go down on the dollar day. And I got this on the dollar day, and I'm always finding some kind of treasure. I try really hard to not just bring home anything though, because I'm trying to minimize a little bit. But when I can find a handy tool, I grab it. So we're just breaking this up into small pieces. And we want this hamburger to get nice and brown. And then we'll put some salt on this. You can put whatever amount you want. If you want to measure it, just like 1/4 teaspoon. And then fresh ground pepper. And you could just put whatever amount you think you want in there. And you can go on the light side because we'll be checking it at the end and maybe adding a little bit more. It's looking nice and brown. So now we'll add our onion. It calls for a small onion or about 1/2 cup of onions diced. At this point, you'll want to drain your hamburger if you have excess grease. I do not. My hamburger was pretty lean. And we'll add 1 clove of garlic. I'm using dried garlic. I just don't want to take the time right now to chop any fresh garlic up. And then we'll also add our mushrooms. And we're going to saute these for about a minute. If your meat was too dry, you can add oil. That's what I'm going to do because it's sticking to the bottom of the pan. This smells so good. All right, our mushrooms are starting to brown a little bit. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of flour. And I want to let this cook just a little bit. You always want to make sure that you cook your flour for just a little bit, otherwise you'll have a raw flour taste. You want 10½ ounces of cream of mushroom soup. I wish I had bought enough mushrooms so I could have made homemade. I really don't care to use this kind of cream of mushroom, but I did have it on hand, so it'll make it easier. One of these days I'll show you how to make homemade cream of mushroom soup. It's really quite easy and a quick process. And the nice thing is you could make extra and freeze it. That's what I need to do so that I have it on hand on nights like tonight. And then I made some beef broth using this here. If I don't have homemade canned beef broth, this is a good option. And it's a lot cheaper than buying the store-bought already made. So you just add about 1 teaspoon per cup. So I have 2 1/4 cups of the beef broth here. That quieted things down a little bit. Whoops, we'll get this stirred together. Oh, it smells so good. I know I keep saying that, but it does. It smells so good. At this point, you'll want to make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom. Make sure you get everything scraped up good. And then we're putting in 8 ounces of pasta. I already had it pre-measured. Make sure that you stir this all together before you put the lid on. I'm going to turn off the saute function, and then we'll get our lid on here. And we're going to set this to sealing. And then we're going to cook this on manual for 2 minutes. All right, so I'm going to clean up my mess and we'll be back here shortly. I just wanted to take a quick minute and show you the pizza party that I'm about to host. I have all of the pizza toppings here on this turntable, and this way they can set their pizza down right over here, and then they can just turn the turntable and get all of their toppings. And this was the best solution I could come up with to make it easy and yet look nice. And then I have the pizza sauce here in the little crock pot, and then my crusts are par baked in here inside of this basket. So I will do 2 pizzas ahead of time that are just like a meat lovers and then like a pepperoni pizza, and then I'll put them in the oven to keep them warm, and then they'll be able to go through here and pick out whatever crust they want and make their own. We're going to be doing crafts tonight, so this table is set up for the crafts, but I also have some snacks on the table. And it is noisy because I have the freeze dryer going, but I have some chocolates and grapes and cashews and a few flowers that haven't froze yet. And then over here I have homemade Concord grape juice, some apple cider, and water. And I won't take these out of the bags yet, but I have pumpkin bread, pumpkin chocolate chip, and pumpkin raisin. And then I made a cinnamon spread to go on top of it. And here's our surprise craft project. My grandma gave me this box of silk flower making stuff so that we can make silk flowers. And back in that day and time, you started with the petals. I'm sure they still do something like this nowadays, but I'm excited because my sisters and my mom will be here, and it will just bring back a lot of memories about grandma. And I even have some cookbooks here that was my grandma's. And now I have 2 pizzas here all prepped and ready to go in the oven whenever it gets warm enough. Okay, it's all done. So we're gonna do a quick release. So the pressure has released. We can open our lid, but you always wanna open it away from you so that the steam doesn't burn you. So do it carefully. Oh, that looks so good. We'll get this all stirred together. So we'll let this sit for about a minute and then we'll add our sour cream. All right, so now we'll stir in 1/3 cup of sour cream. And then it calls for 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. I don't have fresh parsley, but I'll just add a little bit of dried parsley. And then we add a little bit more pepper, a little more salt if you want it. You just taste it and see. That looks so good. All right, let's get some of this dished up. I can't wait to give this a try. Let's see if this tastes as good as it smells. Yes, it did not disappoint. It is so good. And then sometimes I question something so simple, so quick, and budget friendly. How can it taste this good? If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to subscribe for more cozy, from scratch cooking and homemaking inspiration. I hope that you're all having a blessed day. Bye for now.